I can see you far and wide across the ocean, above the clouds. In your presence I am free. I hear your whisper through the wind. Here right now, there's no place that I would rather be. So let this moment last. I've searched myself, I've tried to figure out who I am, and you were always there to lift me up. 'Cause no one else can make me love like you. You give me strength, Lord, I finally know where I belong. I can feel you in the sunlight and through the cold nights. When I close my eyes, I am walking, oh Lord, beneath the starlight, a love so pure. Right now, there's no place that I would rather be. So let this moment last. I've searched myself, I've tried to figure out who I am, and you were always there to lift me up. 'Cause no one else can make me love like you. You give me strength, Lord, I finally know where I belong.
Good morning, everybody. Hi, Sally. Mike. Hi, Oki. Hi, Cheryl. Welcome, folks. Thank you for joining this morning. I do not have a long... Thank you, Oki. Yeah, that was a sunset down in Florida when I was down there a couple weeks ago, or a week ago maybe. I don't have a lot planned for today, but I did want to take a moment, and some of you know that my daughter was in an accident last night. Pretty bad. She's okay. Thankfully, she's okay. She got caught up in a whiteout condition out in Arizona, going from Sedona down to Phoenix, and it was like a 20-car pileup. But I got a call last night, maybe around the 6:30 time frame, telling me that she was involved in an accident, and ultimately she was okay. They were calling an ambulance. I tried to look this morning to see what the extent of anybody else's injuries were. I couldn't find anything but a Facebook page on it, but there wasn't anything bad. Like, I don't think anybody lost their life because of it. But I wanted to take a moment this morning because what the trooper said is that her van rolled over twice and it stopped at the edge of a cliff. So it could have been a very different phone call. And so I just want to take a moment and really just offer praise and thanks to whatever angels were watching over her last night, because that's what he said. He said she absolutely had angels watching over her. And it got me thinking, last night, because I wasn't sure if I was even going to do a live today, but it got me thinking, I think so many of us live our life, including me, that tomorrow is just a given. And obviously, we do things very cautiously so that we're making wise choices so that we don't put ourselves in danger. That weather snuck up on everybody. There was no weather expected. And if anybody's ever driven from Sedona down to Phoenix, I have a couple of times, and she knows the roads like the back of her hand because she's been out there for a very long time. It's very windy. It's very curvy. There are cliffs. You're driving up around them. So what was my point? My point was I just think I didn't want to waste the moment, and I just wanted us all to, I guess, just take a step back because tomorrow is not a given. So just make sure we're all living our life the best way we can, that we're loving on others, and we're, sharing kindness and just doing everything we can do, that that there are no words left unsaid, that there's no forgiveness that's being held. It really was an awakening call for me. And at first the adrenaline was going, and it wasn't until after I knew she was okay, and I didn't talk to her for hours until after the accident. But she sounded okay, though I think she was running on adrenaline. And thankfully her boyfriend was a couple hours behind her. He's up in Utah, and he was driving down to spend the week with her down in Phoenix. And for the folks who don't know, I guess I assume everybody knows, my daughter's been living the van life for the last 4.5 years. She left here November 2021, and she's just been living the life that most of us probably dream about. She has hiked every national park in this country and then some outside this country. She has just grown into a phenomenal woman. And not that she was, I remember her telling me how afraid she was when she first left, but she did it anyway. So she's run into so many people, so many amazing people in her adventures, that they're just like, my goodness, I wish I had done that, when I was young like that. So anyways, and I want to open it up and just hear if anybody else has had stories like that, or had, I guess, something that has happened in their life where there was a before and after. And, I felt that phone call was that for me. And we, her van is totaled. We did get pictures of it. And, my first thought, as I'm sure all of you are first thinking, is, well, it's just a van. And, thank God she's okay. And that is true. But to her, that van is her home. And I don't think she knows yet that it's been totaled. So I think she's going to be sitting in that sadness for a minute or two. But I also know my daughter's very resilient. She wouldn't be living on the road for 4.5 years if she wasn't. So we will get her through that. So that's all. I want to thank everybody. I know a lot of people had sent me prayers last night, but I also just want to thank God, thank the angels, because it was absolutely divine intervention. I truly believe that, for everybody that was involved in the accident. And it sounds like this stretch of highway, it's not a stranger to accidents, because when I was trying to find a status of last night, there's accidents all the time going that stretch from Flagstaff down to Phoenix. And just in January of this year, there was like an 80 car pileup. So I guess a 20 car is a miracle in itself. But so let me just catch up on the comments. And again, I'm not sharing any of this for any type of, I don't know, sympathy, whatever. I truly just believe it's, I can't have you sit in this miracle with me, but I can certainly have you sit in the awareness of this miracle. maybe some of you are sitting in disappointment right now, or just numbness, or, just not feeling overly hopeful with some of the things going on in the world. I just want you to know that miracles are real. They happen all the time. So I just wanted to share the moment with you so that you could sit in the awareness of it. Because I know that not everybody gets the positive phone call that I got last night. So thank you, Oki. Yes, thank you. There are angels among us, Cheryl. You're 100% right. And she's been in other situations, never this like this, but we will say all the time how her papa, and then she has an aunt who's passed, how they're always watching over her. She's driven on the same road, and if anybody's driven out in Arizona, there's these signs everywhere: watch out for falling boulders, rocks, whatever. And she literally had a rock fall right in front of her van the first year she was out there. And she drove. It was big enough that she could drive over it, but it like stripped underneath her van. But we always said, thank God, it could have been so much worse. I mean, we can fix a van, right? Could have been so much worse. So we say that all the time. But this past Tuesday, we also laid her uncle to rest. So, I don't know if he was one of those angels or who, but, and maybe it's angels we don't even know. But of course, you always think these things, right, as you're going through them. So that's one of my biggest fears, traffic all coming to a stop. So that was it. And, I was driving home from the lake last Wednesday night, and it's only about a 90-minute drive from the lake back to our house here in Andover. And it was like squalls that I was going through. Totally not, it was totally unexpected. There was nothing on the weather that this was supposed to happen. And it was coming down pretty heavy, and everybody was going literally like 40, 42 miles an hour. But then you would hit these walls of snow where you couldn't see. I couldn't see in front of me, but you knew there were cars there. I mean, the wall felt like it went forever. It was probably, I don't know, an eighth of a mile, whatever that is. But you literally can't see anything. And that's the way she explained it. She just said, so she had no idea that, and ultimately it was a truck up front that swerved and went, like turned, and then everybody just started going into the truck, I guess. So just, yeah, and especially with the weather, when these things aren't called for, and you're not, obviously you stay off the road when there's a big storm forecasted, but if it's not forecasted, and she was actually driving down to Phoenix because she had a job down there this week. Otherwise she probably wouldn't have even been on the highway for falling asleep driving. Yeah. I mean, it's thank you, Mike. Thank you. And I thank everybody's prayers. I do. I appreciate them so much. Hey, Grizzly. Thank you for joining, hon. And Grizzly, I actually found out your time zone. It's the Atlantic time zone, but I'm still going to post everything in Eastern. So I will get that out. I will post the updated live stream list. So, and just for everybody on this call, Grizzly is going live at 5 p.m. Tuesday, 5 p.m. Eastern on Tuesdays. So it's 6 o'clock her time, but it's 5 p.m. Eastern. So I will put that on the schedule if you would, but just if you want to make a note of it, she goes live on Tuesdays, 5 p.m. Eastern. Thank you, Pam. Yeah, we'll figure it out, but yeah, she'll be sad. She'll be sad. She'll be sad. But obviously she's also resilient. Or she wouldn't be on the road for the last 4.5 years. So my nephew had a head-on collision with a parked truck on a dark road with no one around. Absolutely convinced it was an angel who got the paramedics there. 100%. 100%. And I don't, I guess, Cheryl, thank you for reminding me. Let me take a step back. I 100% believe in angels. I 100% believe they had her hand on her. But that does not take away from the first responders. The trooper, that was the first one there for her. She sat in his car. He did call an ambulance, but she wouldn't go in the ambulance. But obviously he couldn't. He waited until a tow truck came, and then he put her in the tow truck with the tow truck driver. So even that guy, they were just all loving on her and caring for her. So I am grateful for all of them. So I don't want to minimize any role that they had in this, because obviously we know also God uses people, right, to help us out in our time of need. So absolutely. So thank you for reminding me of that. So, I guess, I don't have a whole lot else to say, other than, just again, think if your life was spared today, and you know what? Maybe it was, right? Who knows? Maybe it was. Maybe that phone call you got that delayed you from getting in the car, or, a detour that you had to take. I mean, how do you know? But what would you do with it? Obviously you can't live in fear. I'm not saying that, but just live life to the fullest, and don't withhold anything. Don't withhold love. Don't withhold, those hugs. Don't withhold anything. If you want to call your children and you keep thinking, oh, I got to call them, and something keeps getting in, just call them. Just call them. I guess that's my big message for today. I don't know. I'm just overly grateful, and it's just a reminder how things can be lost in a snap of a finger, right? So I didn't want to just rush past the moment, and I didn't want to just come back to autopilot today, because I think a lot of us are on autopilot. We know what we have to do. We just do it. We're very focused. We're very driven. But maybe just take a step back, and just do a mental checklist. Make sure that there isn't anything left unsaid or undone, or even if there's a project that you're wanting to start, just start it. Just start it. There's not going to be any right time. You're not going to feel any better about it 4 months from now. So, if there's something you want to write, if there's something you want to say, if there's a video you want to do, if you want to start going live and you haven't, just do it. So that's it. I am still waiting. I haven't talked to her today. She is 2 hours behind us, so just kind of waiting. A friend had asked me this morning if I'm going to fly out there, and I'm not, because I don't, as long as her boyfriend is with her, and she has somebody, when the time comes that she needs to get a new home or an apartment or whatever she decides to do, I will probably go out there then to help her navigate that. But so I probably won't go out, but so we'll see. I haven't told her brother or sister yet. I didn't need to get them worried about it. And the thing is her sister, my daughter who's down at Penn State, has spring break coming up in 2 weeks, and she was flying out to Seacourt because they were going to camp at the Grand Canyon and hike the Grand Canyon and all of that. So we'll have to figure out what's going to happen with that trip. But maybe she still goes and they figure something else out. But Oh, thank you, Grizzly. You know what? I did not pick up on that it was biweekly. I thought we had gone back and forth whether you should do biweekly or weekly. So I had it in my notes as weekly. So thank you very much. It's 7 p.m. So that's Atlantic Standard Time. Okay. So that would be 6 p.m. Eastern Time then. Okay. I thought we decided on 6 too, but so thank you. I will make a note of that. One question though, Grizzly, one of the things I was looking up when I was trying to understand your time zone is, do you have daylight savings time? Like we turn the clocks ahead in 2 weeks. Does Canada recognize that? So that was another question I had, because I guess some parts do and some parts don't. So if you could drop that in the chat and let me know. We'll figure it out. I'll make sure it gets posted correctly. So, I mean, if there's nothing else, if nobody has anything they want to bring up or talk about, I'm probably going to let you go early this week. And I'll be live again on Sunday with, something more related to the series that I just put out this week regarding, we're spiritual beings and the nervous system and how to regulate our nervous system. And I did a live last Thursday that talked about different ways to help, calm your nervous system down. And I gave like maybe 7 different ways. And they are in the description, so you don't have to go back and watch the whole live. They are in the description. Just kind of stay aware of those, because I think those will be helpful as we go through this series. Especially the breathing one. And what I will say is I recently had someone call me who was having an anxiety attack, and I was able to help walk him through the breathing exercise over the phone. And literally, by the time we got off the phone, which was probably 15, 20 minutes later, he felt so much better. He could actually finish driving home, and because the attack kind of came out of nowhere. So if you ever have time that you're unsettled, try the breathing exercise. And again, the key to it is your exhale should always be longer than your inhale. And when it is, it actually, I can't think of the word right now. I'm sorry. It basically tells the vagus nerve to that your nervous system is safe, that you're safe. So a lot of the stress, the cortisol that's running through your veins slows down. So it literally kicks the vagus nerve into action and signals that you're safe. Your body is safe. So just keep that in mind. That's just a simple thing that you can do right on the spot. Oh, no, thank you for being here, Mike. Thank you. And same, Cheryl. Thank you so very much. Okay, so you do turn the clocks ahead too. Okay, so that should be simple. Sort of simple, Grizzly. We will take care of this. I did a yoga for tension relief this morning, and it has helped. Oh, I'm very interested in that, Pam. So is it just certain yoga moves and breathing to help with the tension? Next time you do a video, I'd love to hear, just a minute or two explaining it. I'd love to hear that. Oh, did I miss? Oh, hello there. Thank you. Thank you for joining. Just sort of wrapping it up early today, but I appreciate you finding the time. And that's to all of you. I know our lives are all so busy, so it's never lost on me that we can all be doing 10 different things versus hopping on somebody's live. So I do appreciate you and thank you. Even if you're multitasking. My goodness, I hope you're multitasking, unless you can take a minute to just immerse yourself into it. But I get it. I so get it. I always think I need to lift weights or do cardio, but sometimes a gentle practice is needed. Yes, and you're 100% right. My daughter, Courtney, the one out in Arizona, she got certified as a yoga instructor, and that's one of the ways she supports herself on the road. what was my point? But she's always been into working out and, cardio and whatnot. But she has said the same thing with her certification. She said, 30 minutes of yoga does so much more for the body and the mind combined than, some of the cardio that's out there. She very much believes in the weightlifting. She ties your muscles directly to longevity. So it's just something both my daughters sort of drill into me, that I need to make sure that I have some type of weight training in my workout. So I guess they're concerned about mom getting older. But I'll continue to have my prayer warriors here. Thank you, Sally. I do appreciate that, because she's safe, but I think she's going to go through an aftershock a little bit. So, but again, I know she's resilient, and she'll be okay. She'll be okay. Yes, body and mind. Yeah. So, I mean, if there's nothing else, I am going to let you guys go. But again, thank you. Thank you for everybody who has sent prayers. Thank you for the prayers here on the live. Just thank you. Thank you. You guys all mean so much to me. And just think about it. Just make sure every day counts. We get lost on autopilot, like I said. Just try and make sure every day counts. So that's it. I will talk to you guys soon. Hopefully I will see you either in your lives over the next few days, or I'll see you Sunday. And I hope you all have a great weekend. Thanks.